So at the risk of getting meta here, which normally I don't want to do with Leo Finance here, but sometimes you got to. There's this article that just was published on Zero Hedge called Why You Can't Just Build Your Own Twitter. And as we all know, at least the people who are fans of Leo Finance, that's exactly what's going on with Leo. Cal has announced that, something project blank is coming and it's going to have blank features and blank other things. But basically, it's going to be Twitter on blockchain. And it's interesting that this article is published right now, and he goes through a number of reasons here why you can't just do that and why it's destined for failure. And it's interesting to think about how blockchain solutions actually fix all of it. So let's go through and see what he's talking about. He talks about some of the problems with Twitter, and we have Parler and Gab and all those kinds of things. All have been attacked from various vectors, and we're going to go through how those attacks are culminated here and how crypto resolves them. So issue number one, build your own website. And he's saying building a website in and of itself is pretty easy these days. There's open source platforms and all this kind of stuff. And then the Gab was founded in 2016 as a free speech alternative to Twitter. The only content that's restricted is content that violates the law, and so on. The only people who benefit from a neutral content policy are culturally radioactive right-wingers. The user base quickly spiraled into a den of far-right villainy. Consequently, it was booted from the Google Play App Store in 2017 and never made it into the iOS App Store. And Parler is doing the same kind of thing. So I'm not sure how this actually relates to building your own website, but building your website is actually possible, and it's not hard. Worst case scenario, you hire somebody who knows how to do that. Number two problem, building your own mobile OS and app store. So 80% of Twitter's users access the social network through the mobile app. Having the app on iOS and Android is pretty essential for something as appish as a social media platform. And so if you offend Google and Apple, then you have nowhere to publish. This is an issue. However, it can be resolved by using mobile sites. But then you have your own hosting infrastructure. If you're running on AWS can just delist you, or DigitalOcean can refuse to carry your stuff. However, fortunately, we have a decentralized hosting system in the Hive blockchain and with services that are like IPFS and things like that. Build your own DDoS mitigation. A distributed denial of service attack. DDoS attack is when many different machines on the internet send spam messages to a service or website with the purpose of overwhelming its bandwidth so that it ceases to function. The nice thing about having a crypto blockchain solution is that they could do that. They'll just cost them. They'll have to buy the token. So, okay, make us all rich while you spam the network. That's certainly doable. And of course, should that become a real issue, the price of, in this case, resource credits can be adjusted to deal with that. Number five, build your own domain registrar. The domain name system, DNS, is like a phone book for the internet. Human meaningful names like twitter.com are correlated to the machine meaningful IP addresses of the servers that host websites. A domain like the AmericanConservative.com is easy to memorize and manage by a person, but it needs some technical infrastructure to associate it with an actual machine on the network, which is identified by the machine meaningful IP address of 104.18.153.233. So that is an issue. And if the registrars decide to attack you, then you have issues. However, there are solutions like unstoppable domains and like IPFS kind of hosting. So number six, build your own search engine. So this does need to be done. Google search controls 90% of the share of the internet market. That does need to be fixed, or not fixed, but needs to be outcompeted. And there are entrants like DuckDuckGo and others that are in the process of doing that. Number seven, build your own payment processor. Boop. Automatically gone with a crypto blockchain solution because we have payment built in. Number eight, same thing, build your own bank. Visa, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citi, they underpin the entire credit card network. Those are all gone in a crypto network. And number nine, build your own government. Also done. Thanks for trying though. So here we have many models of governance throughout the blockchain and crypto universe. All different styles, all different types, and they each have their pros and cons, and there will be a competition in the marketplace as to see which ones hold up over time. And that is the article. So yeah, the modern technology of blockchain and cryptocurrency and IPFS and all those things are why you can actually just build your own Twitter. Now, getting people to use it, that's a different question. But these technical limitations and these vectors of attack are eminently solvable in this day and age, and we're doing just that.